Yo, how's it going? And welcome to my first ever, I'm not even going to call it a guide, like, I don't know, I was kind of thinking about this idea the other day, and I thought to myself, you know what, when I started playing Tekken 8, I was in a character crisis. I didn't know who I wanted to play, I wasn't sure who I wanted to main, and I looked at Reina, I looked at King, I was going to go for Lars Victor as a center, but I don't know, I just felt like there was a lot of people doing it well, and I was like, oh, you know, I want to find a character that I've never played before, which obviously as a center Victor, you know, would count. I mean, even Devil Jin, you know, one I never played, but I don't know, I felt like, you know, I needed a character that really kind of tested me, and I landed on Steve Fox. How I did that, I don't know, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick this character up and give him a try, and then see what happens. And honestly, I love him. I absolutely love him. Yeah, I absolutely love him. Like, honestly, he's incredible. I think he's an incredible character. I really enjoy him. You know, I really enjoy him. And it just, yeah, it's just so good. He's just so good. Ignore my inputs. Like, I press buttons a lot. Anyway, so, basically, this is not really how to play Steve Fox. This is how I play Steve Fox. This is how I like to use him. Some of you may not agree with it, some of you may think, oh, okay, you know, you might pick something up you might not know. Now, I do watch a lot of Steve Fox videos, people who play Steve Fox, streamers. I won't name any names because that'd be unfair to people who I haven't mentioned, but there are a lot of you, so thank you so much for all of your videos, your tips, your guides, your shorts, your kind of content that you create. That helps people like me who want to pick up a new character, so thank you so much, and I want to kind of continue that for people who pick up a character, see stuff that people do and think, oh, you know what, I'm never going to be able to do this character, I'm never going to learn it and drop them without really experiencing them. So I'm going to show you how I like to play Steve Fox, my kind of thoughts, my processes, and I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, first off, we'll start with kind of like how I like to sort of, you know, what did I pick up first with Steve, what did I learn, and then how did I progress on to more complex stuff. So the basic stuff I did was I went to obviously go to his moves list, and I keep it simple. When I learn moves with a character, I keep it really easy. I know everyone likes to learn the combos, but forget all that. You know, first you need to learn how, you know, what every move does and its properties and how it, you know, the frames are a really good thing. I'm not going to speak about frames today, but honestly, you know, do a bit of research into frames and it kind of explain for you, but learn that. So for, like, you know, double jab, you know, knowing Steve's basic things, and these are some of his really essential tools because he's a boxer, so he's going to have fast punches, you know, and then it's kind of like and then it's basically going down the list, you know, learning every move, repeating it over and over again. Go through the move just once, go through it twice, go through it 3 times, go through it 4 times, until eventually you turn the move list off and you start learning moves. You just know what things do, you know what strings into what, you know, it's just an example. You know how these things work, and that's what I did. That's what I do with every character. I go through their moves list, and then, you know, I learned that. So that's my first thing, I'd say, how I started with Steve. Secondly, I then decided, okay, what are his strings? What are his combo strings? What's his moves that do continuous damage, you know? And then I look at things like the British Edge combo. So there you go, British Edge combo. So already I've got the combo in my head, nice one. But there's also a variation of that combo, one that goes low on the end. So now I need to learn that one. So I've got this one. Sorry. So I've got this one. I've got the British Edge combo down, but then we've got British Edge combo 2. Now, obviously, you think I'm kind of pandering here, but this is my thought process. This is how I decided to see if a character's right for me. Does it feel good when I play him? Does it feel right? So, the British Edge combo 2. Obviously, ignore my inputs. It's just how I play. You know, I don't trust that this game's going to take my inputs correctly, because it does eat inputs. I've seen it happen. It happened to me. So, I like to, you know, it's kind of a Mortal Kombat thing as well, because I've played a bit of Mortal Kombat, and it's always good to kind of make sure that move goes through. So yeah, that's what I did. So after I've gone through all the moves, I found the strings. I see how much damage they do. I kind of take stock of it and, like, okay, can I remember that? I've been through the moves 5 times already now, so I've seen these things come out. So in my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to go back to that move I saw, you know, I'm going to go back to that move I saw, you know, and try and remember it and see how I can implement it into kind of how do I play against somebody with that, you know. And then with Steve, obviously, you know, ducking is quite a big thing for him. But what I did was first is I avoided the ducking stuff. I never really bothered with all of that yet. I waited until I had a kind of a grasp of his basic movement, basic moves. You know, I did test things out to see what they did. You know, see what it did, and I knew that it would be things that would extend off of that. But that was kind of like part 2 for me for learning Steve. You know, was keeping things simple, keeping things kind of level. You know, again, this is coming from an understanding of Tekken. You know, you've played Tekken now for a while. You know, Tekken 8 say, and you're kind of like, you know what, I want to pick a new character, and I've seen Steve, I want to pick him up. You have a basic understanding of movement, sidestepping, you know, positioning, you know, stuff like that. You know, I can't do backstep very well, but I like, you know, for me that's good enough. You know, so it's just, you know, you understand that. Then you use that knowledge you've gained to apply it to this. So, and then you start understanding, you know, what moves do. So once you've gone through the moves, or once you've gone through Steve's moves, you then go, right, okay, let's go back to say something like this. Shifts into different stances, and then I start looking at the stances. Remember, I've gone through the moves list 5-6 times now. I've also gone through it again to look at the combo strings, the extensions, how these things work, how they hit properties are, you know, counter hits, things like that. You know, obviously I've got counter hits on, so but then I'm like, okay, how do I extend that? How do I do extensions on that? What goes into what? Then I start picking that stuff up. Now at this point you're thinking, wow, how am I going to remember all the combos, all the moves, and now I've got to learn extensions? It's just in your hands. Like you'll start doing stuff like, say, you'll do this. But then part of you's thinking there's something that came off that. What was it? Then you'll start doing the same buttons but adding in movement. Sorry. Oh, there it is. That's the low. I remember now. I remember that. I remember the low. Then you realise, hold on a second, I could do something else. I could do that. I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. I could do that. Then you start piecing together like a jigsaw. You know, I never go in thinking, let me do that combo. Let me go on YouTube and see how one else is playing them. I don't do that. I learn here. This is how I learn. I then build up a base level of what I can remember knowledge-wise. Then I knowledge check myself with stuff I've learned. You know, I knowledge check. You know, do I remember strings in Peekaboo stance? And that's another thing. Going into stances, learning strings from the stances, learning how the characters then do those strings. This is how I learned Steve Fox. This is how I put stuff together. No way am I a master of Steve. I want to throw that out. There's no way that I am the Steve Fox. I'm mighty ruler with him. That's me. You know, and it took me a little while to get there because I had to learn the character, play the character, beat people with that character, then had to learn to get beaten by other characters, then to learn how to beat them back. You know, it's a process. You know, some people pick it up fast, some people don't. But if you really enjoy this character, you really want to learn him, this is what I would recommend. Moves list multiple times, learning strings after you've learnt the moves list, or remember at least some of the moves list. Learning stances, learning what comes off of those stances, and then trying to put it all together in a game plan that suits you in your playstyle. You know, I can't sit here and say to you, do this move here, do this move there, win this character. No. It doesn't work like that. You play the character how you feel comfortable. You learn the character how you feel comfortable learning. I'm just giving you my kind of understanding of how I did it. Take your time with the character. Don't feel discouraged because you lose. If you're losing multiple games, go back into the practice mode. Look at the games you've played. Understand, you know, where you went wrong and what you did. You know, look at what can be punished. Look at what can't be punished. Look at your movement. Are you rushing in? Are you being too aggressive? Are you in their face? Are you too far back? Is everything just missing? Are moves not coming out? You know, are you not connecting? Are you pressing buttons wrong? Are they taking advantage of you because they have maybe better properties, but you don't know how to punish that property? I mean, there are characters in Tekken that do that. No, you know, there are. You know, no one's immune to that. But there is ways that you can just overcome it. There are some characters that, you know, are very strong, and you will have a harder time with them, even if you practice them enough. I know. You know, there's characters I just can't. Even if I've faced them 100 times, I'm still like, you know. So take your time with it. Don't rush into it. So, you know, then after that, once you've built your base, once you've got your kind of your moves are down, your combos are down, you're feeling comfy with the character, you understand a bit. And what I like to do is then I like to go to practice settings. I like to go to CPU, put it on ultra hard, turn counter hit off, and we fight. Now obviously this is never going to simulate. This is never going to simulate a real person. Now, this is just to kind of see if you remember stuff. This is to see if you remember anything you've learned from the moves list. You know, do you remember how to connect these moves? Do you remember the strings? You know, the computer's going to mash. You know, they're not going to be optimal. You know, I'm going to whiff, obviously. But again, it's the computer. You know, they're based on a system. They're going to throw things out, but they might recognise as unsafe. You know, but it gets your timing right. It gets you feeling good about your timing. You know, it lets you understand. So once you've done that, you've played the computer, you've kind of felt like, okay, you know, I remember some moves, some combos are coming out. You know, I've got a feel for movement, the character. I'm stringing stuff together. You know, these things are in my head, and you know, I think I can apply that into a real game. Then you might be thinking, right, okay, I've got that base. Now I want to learn combos. I want to learn what happens when I hit somebody with a back one, or I get them down, or I get them up. What do I connect with next? What's next after that? Especially with a character like Steve, who has no natural launches, so you have to kind of go into a stance to do it, or get a back one when someone presses. You know, you want to learn combos, and this is what I did. I went to YouTube. These combos on the game are not optimal. They're good to get you ready. I mean, I do highly recommend it. I'm never going to say it's like don't do it, but yeah, do your combo challenges, because the combo challenges, to be completely honest with you, they are good enough to get you through early ranks or get you warm to a character, but eventually the damage does fall off and you feel like you've seen optimal stuff. You faced another Steve and he's coming out with some good stuff, and you're learning as you're playing. I love facing Steves because I learn as I play them. I'm like, I recognise that move, I've seen that move in that move system. Interesting, you use it. You learn, this is what you do, you learn from other people. So you take that knowledge and you apply it to your character. You build your playstyle the way you play around the knowledge you picked up. Then you might have some YouTube videos running on your phone. You might have some YouTube videos running on the side, on the second screen if you've got one. You then watch people do some combo strings. Sometimes they have limitations up. There are people who do videos like this and they'll tell you how to play, what to do, what's optimal. The thing is, you have to learn all that. No game's ever going to be the same. No two games are ever the same in Tekken. You know, people might play the same or have the similar style, but that's where you learn. You learn how to kind of counter that style. When you fight against it, then you'll face a new style and you've got to learn all over again. Honestly, just play the way you feel comfortable with. It's the way I do. And that's how I build my character knowledge. Moves list, stances, combo strings, learning how to put it all together the way I like to play, and then learning combos, to get me through. As you gain knowledge and experience in the game, you then start realizing, okay, I need to kind of up my standards. I need to kind of look at a bit more advanced stuff, a bit more intermediate, advanced, and then you start understanding the character more. You have to put time in. Flitting between characters is fine because you want to obviously play other characters. But if you really truly find your main and it turns out to be Steve Fox, I had an issue where I was flipping between 2 to 3 characters. It really didn't help me because one minute I'm playing Reina, then I'm playing King, then I'm playing Devil Jin, and I'm like, okay, I'm dropping Devil Jin because I just want to play Reina, and that's it, I'm playing Reina. Okay, I really like King. I want to play some King. But okay, I like the look of Jin as well. Even though I played him in a demo, I want to play some Jin. Man, but I really like Reina. I'm playing Steve Fox now. Okay, I'm just going to play Steve Fox. Man, I'm getting beaten so much. I'm starting to win games. I'm winning some more games. Okay, I lost that game, but I learned. Okay, practice mode, replays. What's fast? What's punishment, optimization, patience? Everything comes with just playing that one character. And if you specialise in that character, when another character comes along, or there is another character that you're like, okay, I really want to learn that character, you've always got that Steve knowledge, all that character knowledge. But we're talking about Steve here, but with that Steve knowledge. and that's, you know, what makes you appreciate the character even more. So, you know, I know there's been some sort of kind of tier list out there placing Steve into like an A bracket, but to be honest with me, I really like Steve. I think he's so good. I've seen some people do some amazing stuff with him. As people do learn Steve though, you do get punished quite a bit because he's got a lot of highs and you can be ducked if you're not doing sort of like maybe body blows, like kind of like, you know, the high-low. Because if you're doing, you know, stuff like that, people can duck it. You know, so it's kind of like you just got to be really careful with that. You know, jab string. People expect the next one to be this. So you build that knowledge base, you build that foundation. So yeah, that's kind of how I learned Steve and what I did with Steve. Now, as far as playstyle is concerned, my replays. So yeah, we played some games yesterday. An incredible player. We're going to look at the last game we played, and we'll just play the replay. We're not even going to look at. Oh, we'll do left side. So we're going to watch the replay back. And yeah, incredible Lee player, really incredible. We play a lot together. We're basically training partners. So this. If you watch me, I mean, obviously when you're watching this, obviously bearing in mind we play a lot of games together. He knows my style, I know his style, and we've always got to change up our timings all the time. And you know, it's insane. You know, you just watching it back. It's just insane. You know, it's what I mean. Like you just when you've got that Steve, you know, you're just throwing stuff out. It's only like throwing stuff. He knows that. You know, he respects my Steve. He respects my Steve. You know, he respects what I could do with the character, and I respect his Lee. So I know that he's got some stuff that can really get me. You know, and then it's like optimizing. He knows that I do that. You know, and this is what you learn. This is what you learn when you play consistently. You learn and you build up a strong foundation. You know, no two characters are ever going to play the same. I might face a lead that's like 10 times more aggressive. I might face a lead that's nowhere near as aggressive as Mo. You know, I might face a lead that doesn't even know half the stuff he does. You know, and that's just how it goes. And this is how, you know, you learn. You play with friends. You know, you build up. You both go away, practice, build up a knowledge of a character that you play. You just keep playing the same character over and over again against each other, and you learn from each other. It's incredible, and you know, I always value our games. And it's what, you know, when you play, value your games. Don't quit out. Don't, you know, get angry or upset. Just take the losses, take the wins, learn from every single one you do, because then you'll learn even more. Yeah, and it's great to see. Yeah, I mean, looking back, watching this, I'm kind of like, damn, I just stood there and waited, you know. Got the tech roll that. I'm trying to set him up for running, I think. Yeah, I was waiting for something, yeah. Didn't break that grab. I was like, oh man, but yeah, incredible. It's so much fun playing. Could have done a better punish there. So even I know that I could do better punishes. You know, I'm still learning. I know that I could do way better punishment, but I'm just so comfortable in my own skin, in my own playstyle. You know, look at that backsway punch. The chip it does is mental. I mean, the game really slowed down here, like, it's incredible. Oh, I thought he was going to go low. Yeah, he thought he was going to go high. So he was waiting for him to come. You know, and this is what I mean. This is how you learn, you know, your own style. You know, no one can teach you how to play. People can teach you how to play characters, that's what is wrong. They can show you how they play. But you'll never play like them, you can only play like you. You know, you can never imitate somebody else's style, you can only be your own style. And I think that's what's really important. And, you know, that's how I learned to play Steve. I didn't sit there and watch people and think, okay, I need to play like that, I need to move like that, I need to do things like that. I watch people and I see how they use their character, use Steve, I'm like, damn, I could use some of this stuff. I could put this stuff into my game plan, you know. But it never took away from how I use them. Yeah, incredible game. Well played, well played. But yeah, and that's kind of it. But yeah, that's basically, you know, there it is. You know, that's kind of how I break down Steve Fox. Or how I learned Steve Fox, or how I did it. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's optimal, what's not optimal, because honestly, you learn that with time, and there are people out there probably tell you a lot better. But when you put it all together, don't think that you can't play the way you want to play. Play how you feel comfortable with. And if it's not working, go back and look at what you're doing, and correct yourself, punish yourself. For instance, that game there, bad punishment on lows, impatience, standing still and waiting and taking my turn too late, and you know, not respecting certain things and using techniques I shouldn't be using against somebody who knows my style. Self-criticism, and I know I need to work on that, and that's what people need to do. That's what yourself need to do when you play a new character or play Steve. Lose, criticise, adjust, come back stronger. I hope this really helped. I know it's not a guide per se, but if you're looking to get into a character or get into Steve specifically, it takes time. Steve is a very advanced character. I'm nowhere near good enough with him yet, but I'm really happy with, you know, my progress of him. And thank you so much. Please leave any comments or likes. Greatly appreciated. And check out my video I did before where I played in a tournament. Won't ruin it for you. Please check that out. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Take care. See you later.